Yeah. 14, I think it's on Valentine's Day.
Strategic marketing.
Oh yeah.
I love you guys, and my way to show it is we're going to Madam Web.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would appreciate that.
Marvel's like, hey, we know you don't have a girlfriend, so on the 14th.
We got your girlfriends for you. Don't worry.
Just go look at Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney.
We know you're sad.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I'll be there.
Nah, I'm gonna be mewing in my room on
Oh wow,
Valentine's
yeah. That'll do
Big
it.
plans.
That'll do it.
I'm gonna stare in the mirror for
Yeah,
8
you
hours.
can't interrupt. Yeah, door's gonna be locked.
They're gonna be like, "Wait, what movie are you here to see, sir?" I'm just.
Yeah.
Like, don't speak to me.
for since we don't have video going, Heath did the thing.
Are we recording?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. What was the prompt that we talked about yesterday about doing?
Oh, the restaurant one?
Yeah.
What exactly
Oh
was it?
yeah,
Oh,
I
like
don't remember what I
equating
said exactly.
movies
I feel
to
Like what
restaurants?
film would be what restaurant or something?
Or like what? Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you said that, but I don't remember the way you phrased it.
yeah,
I don't know. Well,
Because wait, what was the thing?
there
you
was one
said?
that we decided on. There was one that we were like, oh, this
Hmm.
movie's like this restaurant.
Was it Memories of Murder? Or was it
No,
something else?
it was Ari Aster said "Poor Things" looks like the Cheesecake Factory.
Oh, yes, that's it. Okay, here we go.
yeah,
Here we
yeah,
go.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
folks,
Okay.
we got it.
Yeah.
So, in
I don't
light
know.
of Ari
I don't know
Aster,
how we're gonna
wait.
go
So,
with that.
if you want to give some context, go ahead. 'Cause you're the one who brought it.
Variety did directors on directors, and the pairing was Yorgos Lanthimos and Ari Aster. And Ari Aster loved the movie, and he was like, "The movie looks amazing. How'd you get it to look like Cheesecake Factory or something like that?" And he meant it in like the best way possible. But I was telling them about that, and then we start talking about movies as restaurants, I guess.
Cheesecake Factory is a magical place.
So,
Yeah.
in honor of that,
Never been.
we'll go around the circle before we start and equate a restaurant or a movie to a restaurant, I guess.
Time to get on Letterboxd. You know. This might take
I did
me
not
a
come
second.
prepared.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
that's
might
the
take
whole
me a second.
point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, plug your phone case, like, or just show them. It's cool.
It's every frame of Into the Spider-Verse right
I've
there.
seen those. That's
Of course.
sick. Yeah. What movie is it?
Spider-Verse.
You could do Spider-Verse
Nice.
Well, Spider-Verse.
As a
Kind of a
restaurant.
as a
restaurant.
restaurant.
I feel
Oh,
okay.
as a
You know what?
restaurant.
Into the Spider-Verse is 5 guys.
Okay.
No explanation.
Yeah, I was gonna say care to explain, but okay. Let me. Do you have yours?
Wait, no, I have it.
Okay, I have
Um,
no idea what I'm gonna do.
I have to word it correctly, though. Give me a second. Lady Bird is the local burger joint that charges you $19 just for the
Yeah.
burger and has gray
Yeah.
stools and yellow lights and
Like
IPAs.
in the
thing
trough sinks in the
In the-
bathroom.
yeah,
Yeah,
the-
yeah, and it said, and they have the neon
And-
light that says "eat."
Yeah, and,
Like,
and
eat
then
burger.
their
Truffle fries.
and then their playlist is like Tame Impala and Lana Del Rey.
Just like,
That is Lady Bird.
yeah, you have to have a minimum of like
Um,
a septum piercing and a belly button piercing to work there.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's my pick.
Dyed hair works too.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say Fight Club, McDonald's.
Wait.
no, Fight Club's gotta be Waffle House because like everybody's fighting.
It's already a Fight Club.
Yeah, it's
Well,
already a
yeah,
Fight Club.
no, but it's definitely McDonald's if you think about it. I'm not gonna explain, but
Okay, this is a bit of a reach. I don't know if this makes any sense, but I'm gonna say Close Up is like Papa Murphy's because you have to go do it yourself.
Murphy's.
Wait,
No, like,
what'd you
have to
say
take
was
the-
Papa
you have to
Murphy's?
take the pizza home and make it
Close Up.
yourself.
What'd you say was Papa Murphy's?
Close
Up.
up. It's a Kiarostami.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the. Wait, what is it on the top 250 on Letterboxd?
It's
It's
pretty
really high.
Yeah.
I think it has like a 4.5 or something. Anyway,
I want to say Tree of Life is Papa Murphy's. Because you watched the creation of the pizza.
let's.
Wait,
can
you
we
watch
not
it, you
start
watch
this?
it, you watch it,
Subway.
you watch it,
I
you watch
will
it,
walk out.
You watch it evolve in the oven.
I will walk out.
The life of the pizza, and then the afterlife is you using the bathroom after it.
Poetic.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
Okay, I might do another one.
We
'cause
somehow
I might
we
do another one 'cause the
always
Curious
go
Comic,
back
yeah.
to Tree of Life. Very funny. What?
I'm gonna do one more because
Okay.
I don't think the close-up one stuck.
Well, I don't think a lot of people out there have seen Close Up.
That's fine.
So
I know which movie I'm gonna pick. I'm just trying to find an equivalent.
that's actually a very hard prompt if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like. Oh wait, what would Eraserhead be?
The slop at the dumpster.
Yeah, it's some like
Eraserhead would be like a
Dumpster
gas
baby.
station.
yeah, like something really nasty.
That'd be like some gas station food.
Yeah.
No, not because just the weird stuff that happens. Like
Not even like a speedway.
No, Eraserhead's Waffle House because crazy stuff happens.
Yeah,
there. Like
and
people are
it's-
getting
yeah,
fights.
it's
Yeah.
just weird. Yeah, the environment is
Yeah.
just
You're like it feels like a fever dream. Yeah. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that May
Alright.
December is like Applebee's.
Is that a dig?
No, it would have to be a bakery because she's always baking.
Exactly, yeah. Cakes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
suppose so.
No one likes my pineapple cakes. That movie's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and I was just
Wait, why? Yeah, why Applebee's?
I don't know. I had a reason and it slipped me.
Okay.
I'm
Because
What
it's
a-
like
tanking it,
because
this one.
it's like
This
like
isn't-
normie.
No, it had to do with the relationship between Natalie Portman and
Charles Melton.
was it Julianne Moore?
Oh yeah, Julianne Moore.
Yeah. I don't know, and I guess it was more like just Julianne Moore's character and how she like presents it all that like Applebee's tries to be like a sit down restaurant.
Baby back, baby back, baby back.
Yeah. Like Applebee's basically is like glorified
Like
fast
half off
food.
appetizers.
Okay, here. I've arrived at my thesis. Applebee's in May December, at least the characters in it, they're both concerned with their outward appearance and like how celebrities appear and their like she
that makes
on the-
sense.
Julie
but on-
Moore's character wants to appear together and like she has control of her life and like
Yeah.
but she's really just Applebee's.
But on the inside it's just.
She also looks kind of
It's
like
just-
an Applebee's.
It's just a nasty
Yeah.
salad bar.
like Julianne
that's-
Moore just looks like an Applebee's. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
And then Charles Melton goes into Natalie Portman's hotel and it gets a little weird.
Yeah.
That's when it becomes TGI Fridays.
Shatters.
I've never seen May December.
Oh yeah, you're like probably
When
right.
Applebee's gets a little weird, they take a little trip over to TGI Fridays.
She
right
goes,
down the
"This
road.
meant nothing to you," and she goes, "That's adulthood." It's like,
She
what?
said, "That's Applebee's."
That would be
Applebee's.
crazy.
He said, "This didn't mean anything to you." She handed him an Applebee's gift card.
I can hear Pete Davidson saying this on tonight's episode of SNL.
What?
Like some May December skit involving Applebee's. Pete Davidson would say that.
He'd be like, "Rah."
Yeah.
He's like, "Ryan, Kim Kardashian."
Like, "Ah."
You know what else reminded me of Pete Davidson?
He sound like that, bro.
Memories of Murder.
Ooh,
Because you want to kill him.
I wouldn't be
Yeah,
opposed.
where are you
No,
going with that?
he should have been in Memories of Murder.
Oh, he should have been the lead.
No,
Yeah, he should have been in it.
Wait, which one?
All of them.
Okay.
Yeah, him and Dane DeHaan should have been the duo.
Dane DeHaan would have gone crazy.
I want Dane DeHaan drop kicking everyone.
Oh,
That's what I
my
want.
God. Dane DeHaan's gonna go crazy on
What if
anything,
Dane
though.
DeHaan played every woman that got murdered?
Just a different wig every time.
Yeah.
But
Like
it's,
the one time
clearly
where they
him.
reenact it.
Yeah.
And the dude's just in the wig. It's like, you gotta sell it better.
Yeah.
Where are the boobs?
Yeah. I forgot the one.
Yeah, Ethan, when we got to that part, he's like, "Where's this going?"
Yeah.
They lead you. They lead you on for a couple minutes.
No,
You're-
I forgot
you're very
that scene. I was a little scared when I was rewatching it,
yeah,
honestly.
I kind of forgot like why they were doing that, but
Okay, let's reel it back in.
Oh, yeah, we meant.
So yeah, we're here.
Welcome,
I don't know if we're gonna keep all
everybody.
that pre-roll. Honestly, that's like 9 minutes.
Yeah, I know. I was like,
we need to
that's
give
like a few
people.
minutes.
Yeah,
It's like
we
10.
need to give people what
the
they
restaurant preamble over.
Yes.
Episode begun.
want. Exactly. So, Fresh Face Film Bro, we're back with
Special guest.
special guest, second appearance, and we're so happy to have him, Mr. Heath Simmons.
Yes, sir.
That's me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming by.
And
course.
the baby in the
Yeah.
Shout out the baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
shout out the baby.
She's going crazy. That baby's going crazy during the movie last night. So I think it was a fan.
They're just giving us their opinion on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they loved it. But
What?
That's just funny.
Okay.
Like I'm envisioning that baby coming over here and watching Memories of Murder and how
He
stupid.
was like, this sucks.
Yeah.
mid on the menu.
Where's the cocoa melon?
Oh goodness.
Who would like to?
We're really rambling.
Y'all seen the
Yeah,
Someone
who-
needs to like start.
Who would like to debrief us
Yeah,
on
someone
this
needs-
movie? And yeah.
Well, that should be one of you two probably.
Yeah.
We
All right.
just saw it for the first
You've
time.
seen it
All
more
right,
than me,
all right,
Jacob. You go
everybody.
for it.
Memories of Murder. Korean movie classic, directed by the director Bong-Joon-Ho. You've probably all know him from his 2019 hit Parasite, which sort of held the movie world in the palm of its hand when it swept, famously, I would say surprisingly swept the Oscars in 2020.
That was a big shock.
Now, a lot of people are not
Best Picture.
a lot of people are not expecting that. I think that, a little side note, I think that movie is easily the best movie of that Oscars bunch. And
What do you mean? Joker came out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Fun fact: that movie's title, "Parasite," is actually one of my nicknames at home that my mom likes to call me. So
is your house this huge mansion? With
no.
My mom calls me Memories of Murder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My mom's like Parasite.
Do you have a man in your basement too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Cool.
we-
jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You are a Parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Memories of Murder, made by Bong Joon-ho. It was a second movie, came out in 2003, and before the bigger world of film sort of knew him from Parasite, I think that this movie was the moment that put him on the map, and it is a police procedural mystery dark comedy of sorts, which is loosely based off a real life account of South Korea's first serial killer somewhere in the early 80s, where they had no idea what was happening because they didn't know how to look for a serial killer. And this movie is loosely based off of that. And yeah, that's sort of the debrief of the movie. I love it. I think that I'm trying not to get into it too much because I want to go point by point, but I think this movie's incredible. And what y'all think?
Oh, I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
I like it even better than Parasite. Honestly, which might be a crazy take, but it's so whimsical.
It is. Yeah.
In the most dark, horrific
Mm-hmm.
content going on, but the tone never suffers for it.
No,
it just
yeah.
it's got a lot of whimsy and funny moments, but so many deep, serious moments that it's my type of movie, honestly.
Yeah. I was gonna say that I've only seen 2 of Bong's movies, both this and Parasite, and what I said this last night too, but it became apparent that while there isn't really a distinctive style in his cinematography or maybe even his script writing, there's a tonal sort of hallmark of his films that are instantly recognizable in how he intersperses comedy into drama and almost melodrama, shock humor or shock horror rather. And I think, it's not for everybody, but clearly a lot of people enjoyed it, and I think the tone what he does to sort of straddle the 2 different sides of a comedy and a straightforward almost noir drama. It's very successful in my opinion.
I guess it's my turn. I was talking to Jacob and Ethan about this last night, and I had a few reservations, and I was kind of nitpicking. But I will say I'm definitely coming around to it. Okay. I woke up and I was like, yeah, it's a great movie. You know what I mean? Which I already was saying it's a great movie, but I am I'm seeing the vision.
Yeah.
And I love Bong, so
Yeah.
he's great. I was gonna say, when I was researching about the movie, the serial killer came out in 2019, and he said that he watched the movie while he was in prison.
That just gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
That is insane.
It kind of gives it a meta-ness of the movie though. It
Yeah.
almost makes it better. But
Right.
Especially with that final shot.
Yeah.
Exactly. The funny
and then
thing
in
was
that case, he was literally looking
no,
at the camera.
yes, I know. The funny thing was he said that he didn't care for it much. I thought that was really funny. I was like, okay.
That's crazy,
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. He was like, it's not that accurate.
bro. Come on. He needs to rewatch it. We should have him on.
Yeah.
We should have him on.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah, we
should
should just
have him
Grill
call
him.
him. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, well, he
Come over here,
I don't know
bro.
what he's doing.
Explain yourself.
Probably not much.
Probably
But,
dead.
Yeah, clearly the dark humor and the darkness of the subject matter and the serious moments, the way they play off each other is sort of this movie's magic, in my opinion. But I think really for me, the big thing that stands out for this movie is I was explaining this last night, but Ethan was talking about Bong's style. And for me, Bong's style is the way he sets up a movie is kind of does this like for the films I've seen. He does it in a similar way where you can tell he's building a very delicate and massive house of cards just for it to all come smashing down at the end. And this movie's kind of the same way, but for me, this movie is almost like a slow descent into madness. I mean, this movie starts off and there's like a couple horrific murders and it's really funny the way that they just throw it to the side. They're ready to wrap it up. There's a great part where the main character, whose name is escaping me, he just finds the kid's shoe who they're like bullying throughout the first
I would
part
say
of the movie.
torturing,
They're like
honestly.
they are
No, they're
torturing this
torturing
kid, just like trying to pin the murder on him because he's just sort of a social outcast and they don't like him. And he just plants evidence of his shoe mark being at the murder, and they're just like ready to wrap it up. And that stuff was pretty hilarious and a little like very twisted, obviously. And then I think there's sort of a light switch that gets flipped in the middle of this movie where I feel like there's a big tonal shift in the second half where everyone sort of realizes the gravity of the situation, and that's when it gets really intense. And I think the part where it switches for that is like the Corey chase scene, and where they think it's like their first like true lead. And I think this movie just does a great job of holding you in the palm of your hand, and you feel the anger, you feel like the humor and nonchalantness of like the small town detective, but then like by the time it gets more serious and more graphic and violent, it gets exhausting and tiring, and I think it's done masterfully. So
Yeah.
Thing that stood out to me a lot, I think my favorite part about it is the characters are three main detectives whose names I'm not good with, but we've got the main guy who's always looking at people with the eyes. His arc through the movie, he's just trying to pin it on somebody. He thinks that he knows. He just looks at people and he's like, yeah, I know that you're it. And he slowly through the movie stops doing that and becomes more serious, and by the end he's looking right at their main suspect and he's like, I don't know. And he's got a great arc. And our drop kicking friend, his arc is not
He doesn't have an arc.
he just stops drop kicking. That's his arc because
his leg gets amputated. But I actually do think it's kind of poetic.
It is,
That's a huge part of the movie, but I think we may get to that later if we do the themes and stuff. And then we have our big time seasoned detective from Seoul,
and he's kind of the opposite of them, because he starts out like, what are you guys doing torturing these people, and by the end
he starts on the straight and narrow, and then
he's throwing hands.
Yeah.
By the end it's kind of a decline into insanity.
Full on Batman
for real.
I was gonna say for a movie about a serial killer, there is so much levity. It really doesn't feel like, at least when I watched it, there wasn't an emotional toll. Obviously, there's heavy stuff that's covered, but Bong's really able to toe the line of getting his thematic points across, and having the audience receive that in a serious manner that they'll like think about, and also making them laugh at just the absurdity that is recurring. And I also wanted to say, to Jacob's point about the House of Cards thing, a lot of films are just like slice of life, and you kind of just see, you get a window into a character's experience for an hour, 2 hours, however long. But for both the Parasite and Memories of Murder, every single scene and moment is leading to an apex. Like you can feel how each scene adds to what I mean. You can kind of see the trajectory as you go through the movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think it's a great window into that period of South Korea too. Like it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. Riots and
Yeah.
the police.
It's
just did not know
all-
what they were doing.
He
It's-
loves his social commentary.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah,
It's like
he-
the 4 movies I've watched of his are all social
Yeah,
commentary.
he loves his social commentary, and this movie is arguably. I haven't seen the ones that you've seen. I haven't seen Okja or The Host, but like this one's probably the most subtle with it. I would say.
Definitely more than Parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would agree. Yeah,
Mhm.
because Oakja's a little bit in your face too. So.
Yeah, but
No, I do like that. There's a lot of stuff like underlying stuff that's like thematically rich.
Even without the thematic material, though, I still think it's really strong.
yeah,
But it's made better because there's
Yes.
truth to it, and there's also like Bong-Joon-Ho saying something about the current state, or not the current state, but the state of Korea in 2006. And
I think this is a fitting episode to follow up Lahin because like
Similar
this,
issue.
This movie is not like I wouldn't really say the main thing is like police brutality, but
No.
by the end of it, with the final suspect, that sort of becomes the main part, and they have to deal with the repercussions of the way that they've been policing and investigating. And they finally have a lead near the end of the movie, and he says one line where he says like, everyone in this town knows that all you do is just torture people, and you're not going to do that to me.
I think it's
And-
both. They're both about accountability, but just in different ways. Because Lahen's more like class and brutality, and this one's more about just like competency and like doing your job thoroughly and being like operating with integrity with your position of power.
Yeah. And then we can't, you have to mention the little kid who
Poor
has
guy.
some mental issues, who they sort of pin the murder on at the first of the movie. He's sort of like he's the comedic punching bag throughout the first half, and at first
It's hard to watch.
It's
Yeah.
Some of that.
some of it's pretty hard to watch.
I don't know. Some of that I was a little iffy on.
Yeah,
If I'm
some
gonna
of it's hard to watch, and by the end of the movie, he just completely breaks and jumps in front of a train. And there's a great shot
I like that.
where
But I did want to say we weren't at least
the
three
blood
of
on
us,
his hand.
We weren't on the same page. I didn't read that as suicide, but it would make sense if he did. I think. And what y'all? I mean, you can elaborate on it, but I almost like. I mean, he had to hear it, but part of me wonders if he just like didn't have the. I don't know if that
like awareness.
awareness to know that it was.
Right. I mean,
I was reading it as kind of like a commentary on like ableism and how society just treats people
Disabled
with like
people,
Down
yeah.
syndrome and stuff like that as outcasts, and that I guess that's why he's getting like beat up, and that I mean they frame him for the murder very quickly.
yeah.
You know what I mean? He's the first suspect. I think there's a reason for that, and so like I feel like that is very poetic for him to commit suicide, and like the commentary there is really good.
Yeah, and then there's the great shot of the blood on his hand, where like the blood like splattered on his
Yeah.
hand from the train. That on
Yeah.
that
And
then
the
the
one that
me.
they needed,
And then the
just-
direct next shot is like his wife wringing the
blood off his
yeah,
shirt.
yeah.
Yeah.
and the colors in it too, just like the red blood coming off of it.
Yeah.
You don't see too many colors. It's a very gray throughout, except for
It's a little very Fincher. I would say.
The whole
opening
movie
and
is
closing
very
shots.
monochrome except for
The
all the
open-
red.
like-
all the red.
yeah,
It's
lots of
very
red.
monochrome, except like the very first and very
scene
last
in the fields.
scene.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's obviously very intentional.
Yeah.
I was also going to
I
say
like that.
one of the most prominent themes I think is like the almost not subtle but like subliminal misogyny in the movie. How from like even where how the female detective is treated within the police department to how all the victims are female. It's just it's kind of just like male dominated, and it's just a bunch of bumbling idiots trying to figure stuff out and
And
like
they-
pushing women to the side.
and-
And the female detective actually like provides
She's
Like,
literally the
great
only
evidence.
reason.
Yeah,
the,
she's-
the,
yeah.
she's literally the only reason the final case got rolling. 'Cause she's the only one.
like
that
she's the
pursued
one who figured out like the calls to the radio station.
station.
Yeah.
The song.
She got the postcard too.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
And the schoolgirl who
Like led them to the
Yep.
lady that survived the murder.
exactly yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the women are the only reason that they like had a huge lead and were like getting close to catching them, and they like none of them even recognized that. Like in the beginning when the women start getting murdered, none of them like are mourning or are even like upset. They're just like, oh yeah, she was pretty, wasn't she?
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, they're
There's
talking about
multiple
like their
lines with
physical
that.
appearance and not yeah.
And even when that female detective is like wearing a red dress walking in the rain, you have your male detective. He's like, man, doesn't she look so good in that dress? And he's like, oh, and I'm pretty sure he literally is like, what are you hard right now? You want me
Yeah.
to check? And I'm
Yeah.
like, what is going on? This is you guys are trying to catch a serial killer here.
Yeah.
There's a lot that probably could go over your head on a first watch. But I mean, that's what makes a piece of art great, is that I mean, there's depth to it. So
Yeah, of course. I mean, Bong's the type of director where you're gonna have to watch it multiple times. Of
Yeah.
course, you know.
And I think with every rewatch that the final sequence in the rain just gets better and better.
yeah.
I mean that the tunnel shot is like probably like I would argue it's like one of Bong's like most iconic shots, if not the most iconic shot, is the one where he's about to pull the trigger, like with the like on the train tracks.
Very allegorical, yeah.
Another
Yeah.
one whenever he's holding his face in the
Yeah.
in the tunnel and it just cuts between both of them looking
Yep.
at each other and he's like, I don't know. That was
Yeah, we were talking about
beautiful.
that last night. So, yeah.
I think that's like one of my favorite like line drops, like of any movie, is like when he finally doesn't know. He's like, "Do you get up in the morning too?" He's like, "Fine, just leave."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like he just realizes that they like he's just trying.
And the
to
other detective
humanize
just
him.
can't handle it. He unloads his gun on him, and he's like, someone has to be responsible. He can't take it.
And then they just let him go into the void.
I think beyond like thematic stuff, just from like a story writing perspective, it's so genius to not reveal the killer, like, or to not have complete closure in whether or not that the suspected murderer was actually the person. I mean, we have every reason to believe that probably, but it very well might not be though. So I think that's just yeah, super intriguing.
We were talking about where Mason pointed out how Bong loves the slow mo. Man, I realize he only uses the slow mo whenever the madness is like too much.
Oh yeah, in the
Like-
when they're fighting.
In
In the
Memories of
field?
Murder, the
In the
two
field,
slow mos are the field where everyone's fighting when they're trying to do the
Reenactment, which is ridiculous by the
yeah, which is just,
That's a funny
crazy.
scene.
That scene is so funny.
It's such
that's
a
in
mess.
such poor taste too. Like
Yeah.
that's how many days after they found the body?
so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah.
And then but then like the second time he uses slow mos at the end when it's the last murder, and you just like it's just like so horrific. You don't really even see much, and you're
Yeah.
just like it's just pouring rain and everyone's face is just so defeated, and like everyone's like vomiting, and it's just like
Such a wet movie too.
yeah,
It
it's
just
always raining.
It reminds me a lot of Seven, which makes sense. I mean, Bong's a huge Fincher fan, so and I'm sure he watched Seven and then
yeah.
got
Yeah.
inspired a little bit. But yeah, it's very like it raining all the time, monochrome.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, we just watched 7 actually.
Yeah.
Today. So.
Was it good? I haven't seen it.
It was.
Yeah,
I like this
very
one
good.
better. But
Yeah, I like this one better. But
I enjoyed it.
But what else can we dissect from Memories of Murder?
I mean, a lot of my favorite parts were technical things. At least a few technical things. Score.
The score. We
The
can talk
score's
about
great.
The score,
Um,
I mean, I've always thought the score was great, but Ethan like really brought to my attention this watch. But the score in this movie is amazing.
Yeah.
So good. The opening number, sort of like that main overture, and
Yeah.
the chase scene through the quarry.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Is it like chills down my spine every time, dude.
Yeah. It was like, yeah, I was very impressed. And I've become a little bit pessimistic as a moviegoer about scores as of late. But it's movies like Memories of Murder, or scores like the one in Memories of Murder that remind me that there is that a score can positively contribute to a film and not just be like something you tune out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really helps it.
Yeah, it was cool. My initial impression was some of it was a bit Rain Man, like the percussion and Some of it was Badalamenti, actually. It reminded me of that. That was just mostly like how he mixed the piano with the string pad sound, and he did that.
Yeah.
But like the dramatic string sections, those were like completely Beethovenian, and I definitely think Nicholas Britell, who composed the music for Succession, I wouldn't be surprised if he had seen Memories of Murder, because I mean he used a lot of the same progressions. Granted, those are like sort of standard in the classical period of like the 19th century, but still, it was close enough that
they both used it like in conjunction with the story.
And it's played in like really slow and dramatic. It's just like the tone of how it's used. I think it's very similar. So yeah. It definitely. I think there was a wide reach on the score, and it probably made some waves when it came out. I'd say.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I
think
know.
Score's amazing. Y'all had mentioned that you thought the cinematography was just like a little inconsistent.
Yeah, I think tonally.
I don't know. I kind of disagree. I think the cinematography in this movie is like pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's great.
There's 10 or 15 shots that are just like
I totally agree.
Works of art.
Every time that there was a field, just for the shots were going
I think the beginning and end
crazy.
is the best.
Yeah,
and like there's a few shots in the middle. The one that stood out to me was when he's going to the lady who survived her house, and he's just standing there waiting. That one was
at the house,
amazing.
Yeah.
There's stuff like flying in the wind, stuff like that. Yeah.
There's also that camera zoom in on the phone, where we were like, we don't even know how they did that. Like, you know,
that was like
the
a tracking shot.
Yeah. No,
it was like from the ceiling, and it zooms in, like the camera swoops down and looks at the camera.
It's a good.
I think
looks at the phone.
My thoughts on like the inconsistency. I want to be clear in saying the cinematography is great. I think it pulled a lot of different tricks and approaches from.
Because it wasn't like
it was almost like a Swiss Army knife of different approaches to cinematography, and instead of like just quote unquote choosing one style, it sort of pulled from everything, which is
I'm also learning that's a Bong thing, it seems. His movies don't seem to have like it's just gonna be like really really wide shots. It's gonna be a lot.
You got a little bit of everything.
Granted, I feel like Parasite is better in that regard. It feels very contained and kind of like one-dimensional in its cinematography. I feel like the goal in Parasite is very
visual.
Very very strict, and
it's
follows
rigid.
that. Yeah. Now I will say I think that the best technical thing is the blocking, like where the characters are and how he frames the characters, like in relation to the camera and stuff, and who's in the light, who's in the dark.
There was one
really really good.
There was one moment I noticed when they catch the dude with the underwear, with the pink underwear. There, you don't know, you never see who this is, but this is like when they first investigate him, and it's like right when he's like thinks he is admitting to the murder, and then the soul detective is looking through the window, and he's leaning against the window like intently listening to what they're saying. There's a dude in like a trench coat, like in complete black, and just like walking past them, and I think that was sort of symbolic. So
there's the framing. It reminded me a lot of Hitchcock.
Yeah,
and he's like infamous for that. So
you were saying something about the
a lot of the time, like you feels like whatever character is most important is the one right there, and like the soul detective is a really smart one. I feel like he was always in the background.
He's very detached.
Much, and then but then as soon as he had something, he was right there. And it was that was something I noticed a lot. I really liked that.
It's just a bunch of little things that kind of subconsciously help you understand the characters.
The dropkick guy, he's super reckless, but he was in and out of frame all the time. He was never focused, and I really like that.
I want to go back around to humor real quick, because there is a run of jokes in this movie that I have to mention, and that is the Baldy sequence.
That's probably the best part.
It's the first soul detective. It's their first lead. They realize that all the murders happen when it's raining and when a specific song called, what's it, like Sad Letter or whatever?
I believe so.
Sad Letter,
a song called Sad Letter plays on the radio, and then like 10 minutes after that song plays on a rainy night, someone, like, girl dies. And he figures this out, and it's like the moment he figures that out, the small town detective, he's like, oh well, he's like, that's stupid researching pop songs. Like, have you ever thought about how there's no pubic hair left at the scene of the crime? That definitely means he's a baldy. And he's like, so are you just gonna pull the pants down of every man in this town? And then it like cuts to him at the in the sauna.
Yeah.
He's just like awkwardly like looking at everybody naked, and he's like, hey, never mind, just keep going. And it's
very deranged.
And
It's
he
quite
asks
funny.
someone at the front desk to like call him if he sees anybody. That
It's like, I can't believe they
It's
laughed at me when I asked.
Very deranged. But it's very, very funny.
It's
It is
so
very,
funny.
Very funny. Yeah, that's,
Hey, you see any guys
Yeah,
with
if you
no
happen
pubic
to see
hair?
anybody-
that's probably the best.
Give him
Just
my number.
yeah, no,
that I would say that, or like the just blatant placing of evidence, like with the shoe in the mud and stuff. That part's really.
Listen, I can't say I haven't done the same at a sauna a time or two. You know.
I mean, you gotta, you know.
Hey, oh, pause. What?
I'm gonna say it's about the humor. I feel like this is a thing of Korean cinema at that time, but Bong-Joon-Ho's good buddy and contemporary Park Chan-wook also. I mean, this movie in a lot of ways reminds me of Oldboy, like in the sense of humor and
Very transgressive.
and style of filmmaking is very similar. They were both. I just feel like a lot of filmmakers in Korea at the time were definitely on the same wavelength, and they were having kind of a renaissance at that time.
Oh
But
yeah, they had a movement.
But
for sure.
you know, Memories of Murder, Old Boy came out the same year. If you are just now listening to this podcast, go listen to our Old Boy episode.
Yeah, hey, I
episode
like
3.
the plug.
Yeah, we all love Old Boy here.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And if you like this podcast, you should check out Fresh Face Film Bro.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool stuff.
Download every episode, please.
Follow us on Spotify.
But yeah, this movie made me think of
5 stars.
Yeah.
this movie. Sort of thinking of Old Boy a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Though, sidebar, I think this movie's aged much better than Old Boy. Just in a
I would
filmmaking
agree.
stance.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I think Old Boy might be the better movie, but this is aged better, so they're probably pretty close.
And just because Old Boy has some really 2000s like transitions and
Yeah.
Yeah,
goofy
and this one is
moments.
set in the 80s, so it's a lot
Yeah.
more 80s centric.
The kind of
It actually might be. I don't know. I think Old Boy. It's neck and neck with Old Boy for me.
what aging better or just movie?
Movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's really
I wouldn't-
there's no park that drags. Old Boy's longer though, right?
Actually no. Memories of Murder is longer. I think.
I don't know.
The
I think
pacing's really. I mean,
Memories
it-
of-
How old
it
is
feels-
old?
Memory-
I think they're about the same, probably.
They came out the same year.
No, I mean
Old Boy definitely.
no.
feels
He means
older.
like length.
Yeah.
Oh no, I think Memories of Murder is like
Little over
is
two.
like Memories of Murder is like
It's
10 minutes
2:10.
longer.
Okay, yeah. Because I was gonna say I think
Yeah.
they're about the same length.
Yeah.
Time length.
Anyway, I was just pointing out that similar wavelength style. So.
Yeah. No,
For
it's
sure.
very.
But the Baldy sequence was great, and I just had to point that out. It was just too good.
And I just love the insane amount of drop kicks that occur in this. Like, it's not very combat focused.
It's so
at
funny
all,
every time.
But for some reason, they're just drop kicking left and right. Everyone
it's,
is.
it's the one guy too.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, our main detective
Our
gets
main
one
detective
in. You
does-
know.
he gets one in.
Gets one in.
yeah.
Well, and he introduces him. He's like, "This is my friend here. He never beats anyone ever." And then the second he walks on screen, he just knocks him right over with his foot. It's great.
Yeah. That poor kid, bro.
And another thing I noticed this is the first rewatch of it. All of the innocent people they're interviewing are wearing white. Like the mentally ill guy at the beginning, and then the guy with the red underwear, both wearing white shirts. But then they get that last guy in gray shirt.
That's interesting. That's something that I mean, it's very common, but like I noticed that in Zone of Interest, which we'll be doing soon. But yeah, white
We
symbolizing
talked about
purity and
Whiplash.
innocence,
And I believe most of the victims were wearing white when we saw them. Like, I know they were talking about red, but there was white on most of them.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think gray's a great color for the last
Yeah, it's perfect.
suspect because it's like
It's ambiguous.
it's ambiguous because
You don't.
I think
There's not a yeah.
I think you could walk out of the movie like I mean I don't think most people will, but I think like you maybe could walk out of the movie like trying to justify that it could be him just because he was very like not the most cooperative, but he wasn't like too. He wasn't like the worst, but it's just like he was very. He was very air of mystery, and also the results of the semen at the end that they got back from the United States, like it doesn't like
Yeah, it doesn't
out,
say
it doesn't
no.
out it doesn't
Say
outright deny. It
no.
just says we
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
confirm nor deny just because there wasn't like enough DNA. So it's just like
And then the train runs over the paper, just
Yeah.
like the train wreck of an investigation.
I just watched the It's Always Sunny episode with the patent, and they're like, "Oh, you ain't get, like you don't have another copy of that." And so Mac eats the contract, and they're like, "You bet you don't have another copy of that." And he's like, "Well, we made 500 extras," and he's like, "Oh, you can spit that out now."
I'm trying to remember that episode.
He should have
It's
just ate the
the
Steven
pat-
document.
It's the patent. No, it's the one where they're trying to outmerch each other.
Oh,
Remember Wagner mentioned?
yeah.
That's they're like trying to out patent each other. Like Charlie's trying to get a patent for his kitten mittens, and then
Oh yes.
trying to get a patent for his kitten mittens,
Yeah,
and then
that's the
they tried
kitten
doing
mittens.
Patty's thong and the pee pee towel.
Yes. That's the bicep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm there. Yeah, it's a fantastic scene.
Anyway, Memories of Murder. Go watch It's Always Sunny.
Seriously.
They're basically the same thing.
Wait, have you
Basically the
seen
same
Nightman
thing.
Cometh yet?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's my favorite bit in the whole
We need
show.
an episode on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, we should.
Always Sunny special.
Yeah. We could do the highlights.
If the It's Always Sunny podcast is listening, we would like to be guests on the show sometime.
Yeah.
I don't know how good I would be at
Yeah.
that.
It's okay. All right. Any closing thoughts?
The last line saying that the guy was just ordinary, that
Banger,
hits
yeah.
home.
Great
It's
line.
like it was just a guy, man,
Yeah.
and he looks right at the camera.
I love the kind of the first shot and the last shot are very similar, and I really like that. And I like
'Cause
in
they're
my
back at the
letterbox
beginning.
review, I wrote about the grasshopper.
Uh-huh.
I think that's really cool, and like how the grasshopper is also on the first victim. I think that's saying a lot, and how the kid gets the grasshopper and then he puts him in the jar and then like he seals it, and I feel like that's just very very symbolic and stuff. So
I think that's awesome.
yeah,
I'd like
I really like that.
I'm actually
think-
that's well. He seals the grass. I don't think I remember seeing that part.
Well, you don't see him take the grasshopper, do you?
You might see him pick him up, maybe,
Maybe.
but he's looking right at it.
Okay,
He's-
but
yeah, no,
I know he's looking right
he-
at it, and then he has the jar,
Yeah.
and he's trying to keep the jar away from Park.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
what's the significance of the grasshopper though? Like thematically.
Well, I feel like at the end, I mean, this is just me.
It's the same kid who's like copying him, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
And I
yeah.
feel like that's kind of representing his like childlike innocence, Park's childlike innocence, and like how that's gonna like go away.
That kid makes it. There's two unironically like little moments in this movie that are a little wholesome. And it's one where the kid's copying him, and they both make frowny faces at each other, and I just couldn't help but go like, "Oh, that
Yeah,
kid's
yeah.
really cute."
They're totally not standing over a dead body right now.
Yeah, they're
but-
totally not standing on a dead body right now. And then the second one is when they're interviewing the guy that they've been torturing at the beginning of the movie, and they're watching TV together, and they're all mouthing along to the theme song of the TV
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
thought that
eating
was
dinner
funny.
like they didn't just
Yeah.
beat him for hours.
Yeah. But what were you? Sorry, go on. About the
No, I mean, I
grasshopper.
was just gonna say the ending. I mean, obviously he's looking at us, representing.
Could be any of us.
Yeah, it could be any of us. The killer's just an ordinary guy. But the first shot is the dude looking at the grasshopper. So I feel like that's
Anyone can cook.
maybe we're the grasshopper. You know,
That's all we are.
just interesting thoughts. I don't know.
Yeah. I'd also
That's all I
I'd like to point out this is Bong's second movie, and I think that is wildly impressive.
I wish my
From-
second movie could be that good.
Yeah, I think I've seen a couple scenes from his first movie called Barking Dogs Never Bite. Bit of a low budget, strange movie. Sort of a filmmaker trying to find his voice, and for this to be his second movie, and to just sort of have his style down and argue, and most people who've seen his movies would say it's one of, if not his best. I think that is worth commending.
Oh,
So,
for sure, yeah.
Impressive.
yeah.
Okay, we gotta. Do y'all have a closeout thing or? Like a I don't know. We did one to open or we just.
Oh, like a question
sort-
or
yeah,
something.
Almost like an icebreaker.
Like,
a
what's the
fun
best
little
movie of the 1930s? No.
segment. Sure. I don't know, or it doesn't even have to be movie related. We could just do one thing.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, wait, one little fun little tidbit.
Okay.
The guy who plays the final suspect is the guy who plays the lead in Park Chan-wook's Decision to Leave.
That's cool.
Go watch that movie.
I like
Fantastic.
that. Yeah, I don't know. What,
Okay, we can cut this dead air. No worries.
Yeah, they have one.
We can chop it out.
Yeah. What about like dinner with one director?
Wait,
Bad one.
$1 million or dinner with Malik.
Yeah, no, I was about
Dinner with
to.
Malik, baby.
I was about to. Yeah, I was about to go. I was about to say,
if you have dinner-
Malik.
If you have dinner with Malik, he's going to teach you how to
Get mid.
Hey, I just want to air this out for our audience. Tree of Life is way better than this movie. I just want to throw that out there.
Oh man.
No.
We were all dying to hear your opinion on that.
Go listen.
That was on the edge of my
That's
seat.
kind of hard.
Yeah. Yeah. No. That was harsh. I apologize.
No, you're good, man. No, yeah, dinner with a director.
Roman Polanski.
So you could spit.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I'm peeing on his food.
What?
You're peeing
I'm
his
drop
food.
kicking him instantly.
Wait, who's that?
So
You
You're
bet.
having
You
di-
better
you're
be
having dinner-
careful, dude.
Yeah,
I
you're
mean,
having di-
I would not want to be around him.
No, he's like 90 years old. I think.
Yeah, what's he gonna do?
I think if you like breathed like a little too hard on him, he'd probably fall over and die. So
Well, that's true. I was thinking of Polanski in his heyday. I would not want to be around him.
Oh no,
Even if I, you know what I mean.
I never want to see that man in my life.
Yeah.
I would.
Interesting choice, though.
I think I would say Edgar Wright.
Okay.
He just
Yeah,
seems like a really cool dude. I feel like I
think-
could just have a
chop
chill,
it up.
I
chill
think
conversation.
he stole my. I'll go with a different answer, but I think that answer is great because he's sort of like a movie historian in a lot of ways. If you follow him on social media, he's just always yapping about the most obscure movies, and
He's based.
he's always guest starring on podcasts. I think he's just a genuine lover of movies, and he
Facts.
seems
No,
he's friends with like everyone too. I don't know. I feel like you could talk to him about any movie. You probably talk to him about this movie, and he would know it back to back. So
What do you know if Freddie got fingered?
he would. He's definitely seen that, and I would talk to him about that.
I mean, he's seen everything, dude.
Yeah, he has actually.
He does have that letterbox list, like 1,001 favorites.
Yeah.
Not everybody gets a letterbox list, you know.
Yeah.
Ethan.
He's also a music expert. So
So are we both going to dinner with Edgar Wright?
no, I'll say something.
Oh, okay.
different. Ethan. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. This is a bit of a cheat because it's a pair of directors, but I'd go Safdie brothers easily
Yeah, that's a good answer.
because they know ball.
I didn't think of
Have you watched The Curse?
No, I haven't.
I
No,
was
we were
curious.
talking about
Benny
it. Have
Safdie's in
you?
that.
No,
I'm not
it
sure.
looks
Okay,
it looks
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, is it
I've
good?
heard-
No, I haven't watched
Okay.
it.
I've heard it's really good. Apparently,
Have you
the
heard of it?
You don't know
I
The
don't
Curse?
know.
I don't know
It's
what
just
it is.
it's so
show on Showtime by Benny Safdie. It's got Nathan Fielder and Emma Stone in it, and it's like a parody. It's like a dark parody of like HGTV shows, from what I understand.
that's
So,
cool. Yeah.
I would love Emma Stone.
Yeah, Safdie brothers. They just it's so refreshing to see people in an art form who like really care and like are about it. So, yeah, I think just being able to talk film with them would be like awesome. So
Yeah. David Lynch. Easy
that
answer.
was my second. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my
very
two.
very
Yeah.
easy answer
Yeah.
for me.
Not too surprised.
Yeah, definitely Lynch.
I'm gonna go Damien Chazelle for one reason. That is, I saw a meme the other day that he's been thrown in director's jail because like the next two movies he's involved with, he's just the writer. So I'm gonna be like, yo, bro, what do I need to do? What do I need to do to get you out of
purgatory.
What do I need to do
why
to
is he
get you out of
doing that?
director jail?
Because he stunk it up with
Probably
Babylon.
probably needs a paycheck. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's certainly less demanding. I don't know if he has a family and stuff, but
I don't know, but like I'd be like, what can I do to get you out of director jail? Also,
Yeah.
And then we can just record that, and that'll be his next film.
yeah.
all right.
I would like a slice of cherry pie.
That's bad.
That wasn't that bad.
Okay. David Lynch.
Yeah. You know who that was?
David Lynch.
Yeah.
David Lynch?
See,
Yeah,
they know-
sort of.
they know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They got it.
Obviously, it wasn't that
I
great.
totally knew that.
Okay. Well, we'll let you take it, Heath.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Watch Memories of Murder. Listen to the Fresh Face Film Bro.
You're doing it.
Follow everybody on Letterboxd
And
and
what's-
Instagram.
what?
The Fresh Faced Film Bros
it's like
Instagram
doodle
page.
doo. Come on. And
Roll that outro music.
Yeah.